Hello beautiful friends! Today I'm so excited to be sharing a book haul with you. I have a combination of books I checked out from my library, a couple books I ordered online, and some books from little free libraries. So I'm really excited to show you these. I do have this video split into genres, so we have a cozy mystery section, a thriller section, and like a miscellaneous one. I think I have like one or two other books, so I'll have them in there, so feel free to skip around, and let's go and hop into cozy mysteries. Okay, so the first book I'm really excited for, I think this came out last December around Christmas time, and it's the third and most recent release in the Spice Isle Bakery mystery series by Olivia Matthews. It's called Coconut Drop Dead. I tried to request this at my library, but they unfortunately turned me down. I think the cover colors on this are so pretty. And I'm just now noticing it's shaped like a skull right here. I don't know why I didn't realize that was shaped like a skull that entire time. So our main character in this one is Lindsay Murray, and in the first book she opens the Spice Isle Bakery, which is a Caribbean bakery, with her family, and it's just so interesting. It's a type of food I'm not super familiar with, so I love hearing about the different types of baked goods and the variety. Her family is something else. I love her grandma and her cousin, especially. They are both just such interesting, kind of eccentric, fun, crazy characters, and Lindsay herself is she's got a good head on her shoulders. She's a recovering people pleaser, so she's really trying to be more assertive. And in this one, they're going to be participating in this like Caribbean Heritage Festival. Her family's been going to it for years. They're really excited to now bring their own baked goods to it, showcase their food, and hopefully draw more customers in. Unfortunately, a member of the reggae band who's performing there ends up dying, and Lindsay's cousin Manny suspects that it was actually murder, and so Lindsay gets involved in the case. I'm really excited for this. I loved book one. I thought book two was pretty good, but not as good as book one, so I'm hoping this will be even more amazing, but I'm so enjoying this series, and the food descriptions make my mouth water. So next I have a package, which I think I remember what this is. Yes, okay. So I'm very excited. I really love Ellie Alexander's Bake Shop mystery series. I'm not caught up on it, but I have read over 10 in it. I'm also reading through the Sloane Cross mystery series and really enjoying it. And she recently launched a new series, which is the Secret Bookcase mystery series, and I picked up the first two books in it. I'm so excited. Look how gorgeous these covers are. Would you guys be interested in another bookish cozy mystery vlog? I did one a month or two ago. I'll link it above if you haven't watched it, but we basically did all these bookish things together, like book shopping and book organizing, I think, and like just book reading, and all of the books I read were bookish themed. And I have enough again where I'm really thinking about doing a bookish themed cozy mystery vlog. Let me know if you'd be interested. But I cannot wait. There's also a really cute orange cat here on the cover. How cute. I can't wait. So this takes place in Redwood Grove. Our main character is Annie Murray. She's a bookseller, and in this one she finds a dead body behind the secret like bookcase, I guess, in her bookstore, and she gets involved in the case. There's like a mystery themed event going on, which I love. This one here involves more of like, it says lights, camera, murder, the glamorous world of Hollywood. So Annie in this one is launching Redwood Grove's first film festival, but there's a lot of drama and Hollywood stuff. There's someone who is like a film collector of like reels, and they're very protective of their collection. There's a lead actress with a lot of drama going on. There's lots of scandal. I'm really excited. Bookish. It's Ellie Alexander. I cannot wait. It's gonna be great. I just know it. So excited for this one. If you are a Scooby-Doo fan like me, which I actually have here my Scooby-Doo Halloween shirt on because I'm filming a cozy fall vlog and I'm already in fall mode as far as I'm concerned. But you might like the Daphne Jones Cozy Mystery Series by Philippa Nefri Clark. I read the first book in this mystery series and really enjoyed it. This is the second one. It's called The Shadow of Death. Very just high contrast, beautiful cover. I really like this. So our main character in this is Daphne Jones, and she travels the country with her high school sweetheart and husband of many years, who is not named Fred, but his last name is Jones. Close enough. In the first book she's wearing purple, which really makes me think of her. She's got red hair, and she is like an officiant, celebrant. She like hosts different types of events for people as she travels the country. And in this one she's in the forest town of Shady Bend, which is known for its crafts preserve and local produce. She's going to be officiating a funeral for a woman named Edwina, and Edwina has unfortunately passed away, but something shocking happens when the body is not in the coffin and nobody knows where it is. There's a lot of secrets around Edwina, and there's even a secret sauce recipe she might have had that some people really wanted. She also made some records of people and their indiscretions. So was she blackmailing someone? Was this like revenge that she was murdered and now her body's gone? What is going on? I'm really intrigued by this. I think it's a very interesting concept. It's very unique for a cozy mystery because each cozy takes place in a different town. So unlike most cozies where you have that small neighborhood or small town that's like the central location, this one, her husband and her are in Bluebell, which is their caravan, and they're on the road. And I actually really love it. It gives me all the Scooby-Doo vibes because they're traveling the country. I could definitely see Daphne Blake marrying her high school sweetheart Fred Jones, becoming Daphne Jones, and then becoming like a celebrant slash officiant for different events and things. So I'm really excited. I've really enjoyed book one more than I even expected to, even though I thought I would like it. I really liked it, so I'm so excited for this. One I am so excited about. So my library didn't have book one. I bought it, I read it, I loved it, but they have book two, and that's Mimi Lee Reads Between the Lines by Jennifer J. Chow, a sassy cat mystery series. I'm so pleased. I really enjoyed book one far more than I thought I would. I thought I would like it because I like Jennifer J. Chow's writing, but I was a little worried because the cat actually talks to the main character, Mimi. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but it was just enough to be whimsical and fun, but not overtake the mystery, and none of the other characters can hear Marshmallow, the white fluffy cat, speak, so I just loved their witty banter. It was really fun. So in this one, Mimi Lee is really thriving. She's on top of the world. Her pet grooming business is really getting its success. It's doing really well, which is a nice change from the first book where she was really struggling to get customers into the door. And in this one, she's going to pick her sister up at the school that her sister works to go on a fun girls' night. But when she's there, she finds the dead body of one of the teachers slumped over their car. And her sister Alice was the last one to see this teacher alive, making her the prime suspect. So Mimi has to clear her sister's name and save her job. Marshmallow, the talking cat, will be helping her. And there's also a new kitten that's being introduced named Nimbus. Nimbus, I'm like, come on, adorable. So I'm very excited for this. I think the pet grooming elements were really interesting. I'm all about pets. I love pets, so this made me just really happy. It's just so cozy and fun. It was a really nice pacing in the first book, so I'm looking forward to book two. Then I mentioned these in one of my recent vlogs, but I wanted to include these since they are a recent haul, and a big thank you again to Grandma Susan, who very kindly sent these to me off my wish list. It really means so much. It's never ever expected in any way, but thank you. It really is just so kind. The first one is Death Around the Bend, a Lady Hardcastle mystery by T.E. Kinsey. This is the third book in this historical cozy series. I love this series. I read the first few books from my library and it's just so fun. We have our main character, Lady Hardcastle, and her maid Flo, or Florence, but she goes by Flo. And they have a very storied history together. It's very interesting. I want to learn more about it. And the banter the two of these have, they are a dynamic duo. It's hilarious. But in the first one, they've moved out for a quiet life in the country, and things aren't as quiet as they expect. And this one takes place in September 1909, so I'm hoping to maybe read this in August or September. And Lady Hardcastle is invited to this lord's estate for like motor racing, a party, stuff like that. They agree, so the two of them head on down there when one of the drivers is killed during the race, and they find out that his car was actually sabotaged. So now Lady Hardcastle and Flo are on the case. I can't wait. This feels very much like a golden age kind of Agatha Christie style mystery. It's really like a good thinker, very fun. I really enjoyed this series, so I'm so excited. The other one is Mayhem at the Orient Express by Kylie Logan. This is a League of Literary Ladies mystery. I have the hardest time saying that series name. It's like a lot of L's all in one go. But this is the first in the series. I've heard some really amazing things about it. Basically, these three ladies are forced together to, like, they're obliged legally to attend this book club together by the local like magistrate after some ruckus and stuff. And so you have this lively group. We have a B&B proprietor, an ex-Manhattanite, we have hippie cat lover, and a winery owner. And after they were squabbling together, the local magistrate forced them together for this like book discussion group, which is really interesting. I don't know if that's illegal. Can they do that? I don't know, but I love it for a plot line. So they agree to read Murder on the Orient Express for their first book, and they decide to meet up for like a meal at the Orient Express, which is the newest Chinese restaurant in town. Unfortunately, when they're there, some kind of murder happens and they all get on the case. I love sleuths that are kind of at odds with each other, a little bit of bickering, like Peg and Rose, I think are hilarious. So I'm hoping to get those vibes from this. And then I love the idea that we have this adorable cat here, which I'm assuming is the hippie cat lover's cat. I love the fact that it's a literary ladies like book club, so I feel like there could be a lot of cool settings for this, and I've just heard such great things about this. I can't wait to read it. Okay, so I was talking about the second book I want to say in this series recently in a Cozy Mystery Release video, and it sounded so good, and I requested it from my library, but again, I got turned down. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out and get it myself because I was just so intrigued. And I'm trying to read more coffee and tea cozies because that just feels so perfect for fall and winter especially. This is called Double Mocha Blues by Tiora Moody. It's a Joss Miller mystery, and it has a podcast element. I love this cover too. I love when there's like just a little bit of the sleuth like that you can just see from like they're like way back in the picture, or there's just part of them, or their back is turned. I just love just a little glance at them. I find that to be really cool for illustrations. So our main character in this is Jocelyn, or Joss Miller, and she's a 20-something-year-old barista, and she has recently been feeling pretty good about life because not only does she have this job at a cafe in town, but she also launched a true crime podcast, and it's recently surged in popularity. So she decides to do an episode on her grandfather's murder, which happened like decades ago, it sounds, and it's met with mixed results. Some people are very unhappy about her bringing light to this murder for one reason or another, even though her family gave Joss her blessings to produce this like special tribute to her grandfather. And when one of the biggest protesters to this like podcast episode and this being brought back to light is murdered, Joss is the prime suspect. So I love so many parts about this. I think it sounds like it has a lot of family ties in it. We have a barista, we have I guess maybe a millennial or late Gen Z, I don't know. We have a younger lady, and we also have the podcast element, which I personally love in mysteries and thrillers. I think it adds such a unique aspect. And it looks like there's some mixed media because when I cracked it open, the first chapter is actually like a podcast transcript, it looks like. So, or like some kind of interview, because it's, you can see here it's labeled like she's talking to someone and interviewing them. So I am just so excited for this, and this is just such a cute cover. I absolutely love the illustration. So I'm really excited. I've never read this author before, but everything about it screams something I would love. And this last one I couldn't resist, and especially for fall, this feels like the epitome of fall. It's called Homicide at the Haunted House by Beth Doldner. This is Nightmare, Arizona, Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. It's book 1 in the series. It's a very thin volume, very spooky. I'm slowly getting into some more supernatural cozies. It's still not my favorite, and I don't like it when the supernatural element kind of solves the mystery. Like, I just like it when it adds to the atmosphere and the vibe. Like, I've really enjoyed the Haunted Haven mystery series recently, or the Haunted Library mystery series by Alison Brooke. This one I think is a little more supernatural, but I'm intrigued, and it takes place in an old mining town, which I don't know if it's because I love the Scooby-Doo episode with Miner 49er, and just general Scooby-Doo, there's a lot of old mining towns and like ghost towns, but I just love that. Like, it takes me to a special place. I just really enjoy the history of like mining towns. I find it very interesting, so I can't wait for this. So our main character in this is Olivia, and she is divorced, she is broke, and she is literally broken down in a place called Nightmare, Arizona. She's trying to get to the other like side of the country. She breaks down, she has no money to really repair her car, she's in trouble, so she takes a temporary job at a haunted house in town. And this town is pretty strange. There's a lot of offbeat artistic residents, there's a UFO hunter, and when Olivia arrives at the haunted house for her first shift, she finds a body, and she's the immediate prime suspect because she's the new person in town. Nobody knows her, nobody can vouch for her, and she is kind of having to solve this mystery to clear her name. I'm not sure if the haunted house is actually haunted. I'm assuming it is because it says it's a paranormal cozy mystery. So we're gonna see. I'm trying this out. I'm really curious. Just the setting of this, I'm just picturing Miner 49er Scooby-Doo episode, and it makes me happy, so that's what I'm going with. Okay, and then I have one general mystery that I just wanted to throw in here at the end. This is by Mary Higgins Clark. I found this at a little free library, and I was so excited. It's called Santa Cruz, A Holiday Mystery at Sea, and this is by her, Mary Higgins Clark, and her daughter, Carol Higgins Clark. Isn't this gorgeous? So this one has 3 main characters, and they are on this cruise ship. I think it's like the maiden voyage, and it's called Santa Cruz, and it's going to be a holiday cruise ship, a really luxury special event. One of them is an amateur sleuth, one of them is a private detective, and one of them is the groom, I think, to the detective. And another guest on the boat, it sounds like, sneaks in some criminals. And there's people on the boat who are not on the guest list, and these people are trying to figure out what's going on. Things are happening on the boat, holiday hijinks, and I'm really excited. I've read a couple Mary Higgins Clarks, and I've really enjoyed them. I don't know if they're all-time favorites, but the pacing and the characters have always been really strong for me, and that's what I enjoy the most so far about what I've read from her, so I'm excited to read a Christmas one. I'll definitely be saving this probably for November or December. Okay, so we're gonna hop into thrillers now, and I have a doozy to start us off. So this is by Jacqueline Goldis. She wrote The Chateau, which I really enjoyed. I think it was kind of hit or miss with people. I think it was a little more mystery than thriller, but I still think it qualifies as a thriller, and it was really good. This is her newest book. It's called The Main Character. I love this cover. It's just, oh, beautiful, beautiful. So this is described as a kind of closed murder mystery and a glamorous thriller. So this is such a plot. This is a twist. So our main character, we have this reclusive, mysterious author, Ginevra, and she is so eccentric that she hires real people to play the main characters in her books and then puts them in fictional settings to kind of reenact things. And her main character, Rory, is very excited when this author reaches out to her and is going to put her on this luxury train, and it's going to be this lavish trip along Italy's Mediterranean coast, and she's super excited. But when she gets on the train, she's shocked because there's people she knows on it, and it sounds like the author has arranged this, like her brother and stuff like that, maybe her ex, and she's confused, and the stakes continue to get increasingly high, and she's starting to wonder to what cost will Ginevra go to kind of set her up and to see how people respond to these situations. Sounds diabolical, and I'm so excited for it. It sounds fascinating. I love this concept so much. So I found this one at a little free library recently, and I was so excited. It's called Finding Grace by K.L. Slater. This is the book here. So we have our parents in this one, Lucy and Blake Sullivan, and they have a 9-year-old daughter named Grace, and they agree together to let their daughter walk 4 minutes to her friend's house for the very first time. They're making jokes about it, hiding in the bushes to make sure she's okay, but these jokes unfortunately turn sour when their daughter goes missing. And time is running out, they're freaking out. Lucy starts to tear the house apart trying to find things, and she finds some things about her husband that she didn't know that she's concerned about. But she also has her own secret. Then she gets a mysterious message that is pushing her to basically face her past, and if she doesn't, things might be too late for Grace. I'm really excited for this. It sounds very interesting, like a very psychological kind of domestic thriller. I'm interested in this. It just sounded really good, and the price was right at free, so I was excited. I had this young adult thriller that sounded really interesting. It's called Harris Takes All. It's by Emily Wiblery and Austin Sigmund Broca. It says, "Till theft do us part." The cover was really eye-catching to me. So our main character in this is 17-year-old Olivia, and she is fuming. Her dad has recently divorced her mom, and she has been cut out of her inheritance. She's had to move, and she's also going to be in this wedding because her dad's getting remarried, and she's just fuming. So she decides to pull off a heist during the wedding because nobody's going to be watching her dad's safe, and if she can get his passwords, they can transfer money and she'll have her inheritance essentially. And so she assembles this crew together. She's some kind of thief. I think she has past experience, it sounds like, but things kind of go awry when an ex-boyfriend is there, when the second wife, a vengeful second wife, is kind of stirring the pot, and it just sounded kind of entertaining. I have to say, I don't know, something about wedding drama I always find really fun for a thriller. This one I've heard so many good things about. It's called If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finley. This one came out earlier this year. So in this one, our main character is Ryan, and he is trying to put his past behind him. When he was younger, him and his girlfriend were in some kind of wreck, and she disappeared. They don't know what happened. The police and some people tried to pin it on him, but he had a good lawyer. He got out of it without any charges, despite what the internet trolls and people say about him. He changes his last name, he goes to law school, and he's in Europe when his dad calls him to tell him that Allie's car has been found. And her car has been found submerged in a body of water, and there was some kind of letter in there that starts with, "If something happens to me." and now Ryan is finally having to face his past and figure out what actually happened to his girlfriend that horrible night. He starts to see someone he might recognize. It sounds very suspenseful. I really love a thriller. Do you know a good word for this? What's a thriller where they like face a past secret? If there's like a trope for that or a name for that, I'm not sure, but that's something I really love in thrillers and mysteries. Then I found this book for $1, so I could not pick it up. It's called You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sari Pekana. This is the book here. It's hardcover too for $1. So we have two kind of parties we're following. We have Shay Miller, and she is somebody who wants love. She doesn't like her job. She wants to be something and someone else. And then we have the Millers, who are glamorous. They seem to have it all. But what Shay doesn't know is that the Millers really want to be like her. That's kind of the general premise. I find it very interesting. I have read something by Sari Pekana. I've read The House of Glass from the Book of Month last month, and I really enjoyed it. Then we have Pretty Dead Queens by Alexa Dunn. This is a YA thriller. So our main character in this is Cecilia. She is 17. Her mother unfortunately passes away due to cancer, and she goes to live with her grandmother in this big Victorian estate. At her new high school, however, the prom queen or like homecoming queen is murdered. And this isn't the first time that this has happened in this town. Cecilia starts to look at it and she's wondering, is there a copycat killer? So she gets entangled in this case. It sounds like it's gonna be really interesting. I'm excited. I've heard some good things about Alexa Dunn's work, so I'm super excited to read this. And then I have my book of the month for this month, which is Like Mother, Like Daughter. This is by Kimberly McCrate. And this basically involves a daughter who comes home one night to see her mother, and her mother is nowhere to be found, and it looks like she's just disappeared from the home when she was in the middle of cooking. Like the stove is on, you know, she's like, okay, this is really weird. And she's normally, her mother's usually the very responsible one. She's very, it sounds like kind of prim and proper, put together, while the daughter is kind of messy, spontaneous, everything that's the opposite of her mother. Or is she? Like mother, like daughter. She starts to dig into what happened. She starts to learn things about her mother she didn't know. I always love a good domestic thriller, especially when it explores female relationships, whether that's like best friends, mother and daughter, something like that. I really like this. And Book of the Month rarely lets me down with anything that I get from them, so I'm really excited for that. And then last, for our miscellaneous one, I picked up this nonfiction, and it's the slimmest book I've ever seen. It's called How to Live on 24 Hours a Day by Arnold Bennett. I was listening to a YouTube video and they were talking about this and like quoting it, and it really had some good thinkers in it. And it explores the idea of the old adage, time is money, because that really understates things, because you can make more money, but you can never get your time back. So this kind of explores time management in a different way, and I'm just really intrigued by it. So I picked that up just out of curiosity. It's very short. It's 60 pages, so it'll be a quick read, but I'm really excited to read that. So that is our last book for this haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this book haul. If you haven't already, I hope you'll hit subscribe and like the video. I post new book content every week on my channel, especially within the mystery and thriller genres and cozy reads. If you like anything like that, if you like cozy reading vlogs, I think you'll like my content, so hit subscribe and I'll see you guys in my next video. Let me know in the comments down below, what have you recently checked out from your library or picked up from the bookstore? I would love to hear what you are reading.